It makes me so happy to have some success stories to share with you from my years working at ThinkTank Learning. I've helped so many students, including more than 40 guaranteed and VIP students over the years. And I have a 100% successful track record over our guaranteed cases. This year, the results haven't even come in for most schools yet, but I already have a student who's been admitted to Stanford early, as well as University of Chicago, and a UC Berkeley Regents Scholar. So my students are enjoying quite a lot of success in this season, and I can't wait to find out more as the season unfolds about which Ivy League schools they've gotten into, because over the years I've helped students attend Stanford, all of the Ivy League schools, and Ivy League Plus schools like Duke, and that's what gives me a lot of satisfaction in this work, is to have these success stories about our students to share with you. Being a consultant at ThinkTank Learning, I care a lot about my students and parents and all of the families that we serve. And my background in psychology helps me to do a good job of helping with all of the problems and questions and anxiety and crisis and emergencies that can happen during your time. For example, I've worked with so many students who came to the US for high school, maybe living at a boarding school, but just coming to another country is very difficult. You know, the cultural differences and expectations, just understanding how you can be the best that you can be in your school, how to have harmony with your teacher so that you're not in conflict, and having the best results that can come from that. Enjoying the pride that you can take in those results. These are all very important things, and I do my best to use my background in psychology to understand the personalities of my students and to tailor a plan to help them to the best ability possible. I also have a background at Stanford University. After I graduated from Pomona College with my degree in psychology, I worked at Stanford in their summer academic enrichment programs. Later on, I was mentored by a 30-year Stanford professor who was also a 15-year dean of admissions with Stanford and who wrote many of the questions that you're still asked when you apply to Stanford. So I feel a very strong connection to Stanford as well as to Pomona, where I also interview students as an alumnus. And just having worked in the industry for more than 10 years, I've helped to send students to every Ivy League school and Ivy League Plus school. And it means a lot to me to be able to leverage my background to help students to that extent. In this industry, you have to really know both the high schools that your students are coming from, to know them or to be able to do really good research on that. But you also need to know a lot about the specific colleges and majors to which you're applying. So I have cultivated expertise and knowledge about all of these schools and all of the best ways to reach your dreams of gaining admission to them. So I'd like to talk a little bit about students that might be dealing with depression or anxiety, and also with cultural issues that can come up when you're getting ready to go to college. So as we know, high school is an extremely stressful time, and there are a lot of cultural considerations that may also affect you. When helping students with depression and anxiety, it's important to remember that you're still a young person, you know, you still have your life ahead of you. And I think that it's an important idea that life changes. Whatever's going on right now, that's going to change. Whatever's happening in the future, whether you like it or you don't like it, it's going to change. Helping students to roll with the punches, you know, and just being flexible, being durable, and dealing with what life sends you. There's so many difficulties that my students face. I mean, there's cultural issues for Asian Americans, working with parents that came from more traditional backgrounds. Having worked with students in China, and knowing the tradition there of the importance of the Gaokao. There's a similar test in India as well. But for most people, that test is their whole life, and they have to spend all of their young adult life just preparing for that. So a lot of parents, I think, families are very test focused, and that's important. It is very important to have the high test score, but it's not the most important thing. Actually, there are many things that we can do And knowing how in many Asian American households, there can be a similar emphasis on, for example, playing piano and violin, or playing certain sports. We have to be aware of these, and I never want to discourage my students from anything that they are passionate about. But a real problem in admission is helping our students to look different and to really stand out from each other, regardless of cultural background. We need to find those things about our students that are unique and will really show off the special potential that you have. Take this idea to go beyond just high test scores, but to do your best through interesting activities. Maybe they line up with your major. We help students to design and to find those kind of opportunities all the time. I find that having a focus on the future and a really positive dreams about the future is one of the best things for our students and for all of us. If you like this video, follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook and YouTube.